Our second episode, and we're gonna get microphones, I promise.
Yeah.
We just have to order them. We're gonna order them today.
Yeah.
So this episode we're gonna just hit it hot. And talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Yes.
Because we are
Obsessed.
with her.
We send each other TikToks all the time about her.
We watched the show.
Yes. The show ended though. Well, we're
The
waiting for the second
season
season.
ended.
Yeah.
Honestly, for a minute I wasn't sure she was really pregnant.
I wasn't either.
But now I think she is.
I think she is too. I don't think she's lying about it.
And we just really like her. But where should we start?
So, when we first heard about her, like before she got out of prison and everything.
Okay, so I first heard about her because I watched The Act.
Yeah, my dad talked about her because my dad is like into everything.
And so
My dad was like, "Did you hear about that girl that killed her mom and went to prison and all this stuff?" And I was like, "No." So I like went down this like rabbit hole,
yes.
and I watched like every video I could find about her. I watched the court case. I watched everything, and then every time a new documentary came out, I literally watched it, and I was just like so invested, and I really liked her.
And yes, up until recently I was on her side.
Yeah, me too.
But since the Lifetime show, Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, I am honestly no longer really on her side.
No.
Because I really do think, I don't necessarily think that every single surgery she had was necessary. I don't think that all the documents got lost in the hurricane like her mom says.
No.
But I do think she has something wrong.
Well, and she has admitted that she was literally raised to lie.
Yeah.
Like, she has said that herself. And so, obviously, nobody's going to be better at lying than her.
Because that's literally how she was born and raised.
Yeah. But, like, when she first got arrested and everything and she was in prison, I was, like, so on her side. And I was, like, ready for her to come out of jail and ready to see everything that happened. And then she came out of jail and everybody was still loving her. And then she just... The comments that she was making on social media were, like, very...
trashy.
Yeah, and she just wanted all the attention. And, like...
And you could tell, because nobody just posts that.
No.
You could tell that she just wanted the attention. She wants the bag.
Yeah. And, like, at first I was like, okay, she's posting these things because she's never had, like, a teenage life. She's never had a normal life. And so I'm like, she's like, trying to live like a teenager.
Yes.
Because she's
essentially.
Yeah. Because she's trying to just, like, live her life and have fun.
But there does come a point where you are... She's 30.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're 30 years old. You're behaving like you're 16. Actually, most 16-year-olds that I know don't behave like that.
No.
So it just was a little wild to me that she thought it was okay. And honestly, I feel like Christy enabled her.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a Christy fan. I don't like Christy.
No.
I liked her in the beginning also.
I did too. In the beginning, I was like, yes, thank you, Christy. You're on her side. You realize that, like, Ryan is probably not the man for her.
Yeah.
Because...
I liked Ryan in the beginning too.
I liked Ryan in the beginning too.
I liked all of them in the beginning.
In the beginning, I was, like, so anti-Ken. And I still think that Ken is gay. And that he's with Gypsy for the bag.
Yeah, because it's weird that they were together and then they broke up, and the second she's out of jail, he's like, hey.
Yeah, I think he's in it for the money.
Yeah.
But, like, and a part of my heart still feels bad for Ryan, because I almost feel like if he felt like he had to control her, because she was going down this slippery slope.
Yeah, I feel like Ryan was trying to help her. He was just helping her in the
wrong ways.
Like, he was trying to say, like, hey, you shouldn't do this. Like, when she was talking with Mia on the show about how she needed to take a plan B.
I didn't think that needed to be filmed.
No, and, like, Ryan agreed with that. He was like, you did not have to tell the entire world.
Yeah, like, it's one thing to tell your sister.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to tell it on camera in front of the entire world. And I don't know how the contract is, so she might have legally been binded.
Yeah, I don't know if she has to tell certain stuff online. But
this is what I know. It was unnecessary. It was uncalled for.
My husband would be mad if I said something like that.
Same. Like, my husband.
Even if I said it to one of my friends, he'd probably be like, you did not need to share that.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though he knows that I probably am going to share everything.
everything.
But, like,
there is just such a difference whenever you're talking about, like, your close friend group versus
or your sister
versus the
the
world.
entire world.
And
like the entire world is watching this girl.
From the beginning, like straight out the gate, episode 1, just like something
Weird.
was off.
Yeah, and people started like talking about her before the first episode even came out, like just because of her social media presence.
Yes.
Before the show actually
And,
aired, people were saying like, "Hey, this girl's acting a little weird." Like,
and the TikTok live battles, I don't know if they ever come up on your For You page.
Yeah.
Where like Gypsy will be live and Ryan will be live at the same time, not together, separately.
mm-hmm.
And like people will be going back and forth on the comments. Well, Gypsy just said this about you on her live,
Yeah.
and then he'll start talking about her. Like if her and Ryan are done, which at this point I think they are.
Yeah.
I think that Ryan needs to move on with his life. I think he just needs to go back to being a teacher. I think he needs to give up the TikTok lives are cringe, Ryan.
Yeah.
Stop doing them.
Well, in that one where he was like, "What did y'all think about me crying in that episode?" Have you seen?
Yes,
that?
yes.
I was like, Ryan,
If you want to,
don't care.
like, if you want to move on, like you say that you want to move on and you want to be over it, like you say that you want to be over it, then you need to give up your social media presence.
Yeah.
You need to go back to being a teacher. You need to go back to your normal life.
And I think there are people that are like Ryan fans. Like I think people actually do like Ryan, but he's not going about it in the way that he probably should. Like,
No,
I think he
and-
should probably post like his normal life, but not like only
About
post about Gypsy.
Because all he's posting is about Gypsy. And if he wants to move on from Gypsy, he's never going to be able to move on from Gypsy as long as he keeps talking about her.
Yeah.
And I have to understand, like, she is a part of his past.
Yeah.
She's always going to be
Yeah.
in the background, but that shouldn't be his platform anymore.
No.
And at first, I really do think that Gypsy had really good intentions. Because she was like, I want to be able to be a light for people that are in the situations that I was.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and that's what kind of makes me mad too, is the fact that she does have like the perfect situation and the perfect platform to help people.
if it was true.
If it was true. But we don't know if it's even true.
And then her trying to contact Nick, allegedly.
Supposedly, I don't know
Why
if
would you
that's
even
true.
want to talk to him?
Yeah.
If
What's
you
the
really
point?
want to move on,
Yeah, you
you
keep saying that you want to move out, and you keep saying that you want to get over it, and you don't want to be known as the girl who killed her mom, then stop talking about it.
no, and like in that situation, if it was true, she was the victim, but she's still victimizing herself
Too much.
too much. Even now that she's out of prison and out of everything. Like at this point, Gypsy, it's over.
Yeah.
You're still famous, and honestly, I think if she stopped posting now and deleted everything, she would still have enough money to live her entire life completely happily.
Somebody said she was making $200,000 every TikTok. Just TikToks. That's not
Just
YouTube.
TikTok.
That's not her Lifetime show. That's not all of the documentaries that have ever been made about her. That's literally,
Gypsy, share the wealth, honey.
literally.
Send me some.
Send me some.
As we're sitting on your trashy couch.
We loved you. We really did.
Until
Your time is over.
and I still watch her. I'm still contributing. I'm part of the problem.
Yeah, me too. That's what my dad told me. He was like, or no, that's what my stepmom told me. I was telling her about how all this Gypsy drama, and she was like, "You're putting money in her pocket by watching her show." And I was like, "I know, but I'm way too invested."
I know, like at this point I'm too invested to stop watching it.
Yeah.
But also, like, back to Christy.
A lot
So,
can be said about Christy.
In like the first few episodes, I was like, yes, thank you, Christy, for advocating for her.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't know how to do it for herself. Thank you, Christy, for being there. But then, I can't imagine being a mother-in-law, or not in-law, stepmom, and reaching out to my stepdaughter's ex-boyfriend that she has no contact with at this point.
Yeah, that's weird.
To keep him updated about Gypsy, especially since Gypsy was so heavily involved in social media.
Yeah.
Like that was
she
so
did not need to
unnecessary.
reach out to him. He knew everything he needed to know just from
She
watching her social
opened
media.
the basket
Yeah.
and she gave Gypsy the wormhole to talk to him.
Yeah.
She gave Gypsy the wormhole to get back into him.
Yeah.
And I think that if she would have not meddled and just stayed out of it, like Rod said,
Yeah.
Rod was like, you don't need to be meddling in this, it's not your place.
I 100% was on Rod's side.
I was too. I love that
I
man.
love that man.
He's a king.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes he says stuff and I'm like, oh. But most of the time I agree with him.
yeah, like I would say like
He
85.
seems like the most level-headed one on the entire
Yes,
thing.
I'd say like 85%. Mia seems pretty level-headed too.
Yeah, I do like me.
I like Mia. I think that Mia is good for Gypsy because she's
lived her life. Like, I feel like they're at the same mental point in their life.
Yes.
Like,
but she is more level-headed than Gypsy
yeah,
in the aspect of like
and she's
saying,
more level-headed than Christy.
yes,
Which is
sad
to me.
Yeah.
Like, your mother is less level-headed than you are.
And you're what is she, 20?
She's like in college.
Yeah,
So probably like 20.
Like, I just feel like where they are in Gypsy, like Gypsy is in a really hard point because like she's been in prison for so long.
Yeah.
She,
And before that, she was never.
so she doesn't have a career.
Yeah.
Like she was, and like she's a convicted felon. She can never, like, if she wanted to be a teacher, it's out of the options for her. It would be hard for her to find a job
Yeah.
outside of social media,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
But the thing is, like, she's just running around the social media thing the wrong way. Like, people loved her before she got out of prison, and if she hadn't have acted like a teenager since she got out of prison,
People would still love her.
People would still love her. We would still love her, and
She really rushed into things.
yeah, and she could easily still make money off social media if people had loved her. Like, nobody would get bored of hearing about her.
No, and I think
Nobody's
too,
gotten bored
like
of hearing
with
about
just
it for
such
the
the
last
risk
10
of her
years.
parole,
Mm-hmm.
with all the risks of parole for one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, straight out the gate, she had a parole violation.
Yeah.
Literally, she got out of jail
Yes.
and had a parole violation in 12 hours.
Yeah. Like, this girl's just being dumb.
And then getting pregnant,
Oh yeah.
knowing that you could go back to jail for, what is it? It's just a few more years. But if
But
she's,
still,
but
that's
if
a
she,
lot of the time when you have a kid.
yeah, because you can't take care of your kid in prison. Ken or Chrissy or Rod would have to.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know. I just think she went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, she should have waited until there was no risk of her going back to jail for parole violation, no risk of her going back to jail for her crime.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot. And then when she got on that interview and said, "I didn't come up wrong," she
That Nick did.
yes, and which essentially she didn't, but she told him to.
She planned the whole thing.
She planned
asked
the-
him to.
She asked him to. She told him to. She planned the entire thing.
Yeah. She literally asked him, "Will you kill my mom for me?" To
Like-
get me out of this situation. And the fact that she had ran away from her multiple times,
She could have got out
she
another way.
easily could have gotten out. And I saw somebody said something that made like a lot of sense to me, and it was, remember when she went to that guy's house? His name was like Dan or Dave
Yeah.
or something like that. Was it Dan?
Damn.
Yeah, she went to Dan's house. He was like a 50 or 60-year-old married man. And her mom had every right to come take her. Because why on earth would you be okay with your 20-year-old daughter running away to a 50 or 60-year-old
Your 20-year-old daughter that thinks she's 16
Yes.
or 15, however old she thought she was. Like,
And however old she mentally is, because she's definitely not mentally
No.
30-something.
like, and I guess I just think about, I don't know if you follow, like, I can't think of their names right now. It's like, Kevin is the kid. Let me Google it.
Do you know that one, it's the two girls that are a couple, and they're both like gothic kind of,
Yeah.
and they talk about her a lot? I love them. They make so much sense. I do really
The
like them.
mom's name is Ruby. Ruby Frankie. The Frankies. Do you keep up with them?
The ones that are in jail? Or the
They're in jail
ladies that
now.
are in jail?
Like, if that little boy could escape being tied up, locked in a closet with no food, he was literally tied up. If he could escape and find somebody else without murder,
And the Turpins?
yes.
The Turpins are a perfect example.
Like, if
Those
all
kids-
of these other kids could escape much worse situations than what she was in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what she was in wasn't bad.
No.
I'm saying that if other
We
kids
feel for you, Gypsy.
like if other kids could get out without issue, like not without issue, because they're like
If you can figure out, if other people can figure out a way out of their situation,
like
it's
literally all she would have had to do was wheel out the house, wheel down the road line.
She was friends
asleep.
with her neighbor.
She was literally, she could have told her neighbor,
Yes, she
can
could've
you
said-
please call the cops and get me
Yeah.
out of here?
Yeah.
But she didn't. She chose murder, and that's a problem. Like, especially looking at it from like a Christian standpoint.
Mhm.
Like, there was any standpoint, there was other ways out.
Yeah.
You could have told your neighbor. You could have went up to anybody when you were in public.
Yeah.
Because what's she gonna do? Drag you down in public? Then everybody's gonna know.
Yeah.
And they're this prominent family that a bunch of people knew about because their house was built by Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
Like,
And she was all over the news. She was the Once Upon a Child, or not Once Upon a Child, Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish.
She was a Make-A-Wish kid. She like did all this stuff.
So the police would have known where to find her.
Yes.
Like
If she would have called 911 one day while Dee Dee wasn't home, or even if she
was
even
asleep.
if she was in a different room and whispered on the phone, they would have known exactly where to go because it's Gypsy Rose Blanchard and everybody already knew about her.
And they could have helped her.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee would still be alive.
Yeah.
Like,
because I don't think anybody deserves to die. Like Dee Dee did some terrible things, and we know that she did some terrible things.
but I think that Dee Dee also had mental issues.
She did.
I think that she needed to be in
An
institution.
Yeah.
Not
or on some serious medication.
dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Nobody
and then
deserves to die.
this
no matter
whole thing
how-
would have been avoided, but it wouldn't have been a national news.
Yeah.
Like,
It probably still would have been some type of news just because they were like, oh my gosh, this girl's gotten so much money
yes,
because she's
and it's a
disabled
fraud.
and she's not disabled.
But it wouldn't have got the traction that she has now. And part of me wonders in the back, and social media wasn't as big when Gypsy went to prison.
Yeah.
So part of me wonders if Gypsy was like, no, this has to be big, so it does hit the news, so people feel bad for me.
Yeah.
Because Gypsy, she knew she could walk.
Mhm. Yeah, she said that she walked around the house with Dee Dee.
Yes, she knew she
Dee Dee
could.
just didn't want her walking around when she was around other people.
So all that they went out in public all the time.
Yeah.
She literally, all she would have to do was get up out of her wheelchair,
And say, look, I can walk. It's a miracle.
or even look, I can walk. Somebody call the cops. My mom is a fraud.
Yeah.
But Gypsy,
Didn't make an effort.
No.
Her first try was murder.
and that should not be
Not a good first
anybody's
try.
first.
That's not a good try in general. Maybe if there's, I don't know. I see where she was coming from, but at the same time, I think she got it completely wrong.
And I guess murder would have never been justified, but I guess it would have made more sense if she would have tried multiple times to escape and failed.
Yeah.
But there was never a failed attempt.
Besides the time with Dan.
Yes.
But
she was with Dan long enough that she still could have got out.
Yeah.
All that would have happened was call the cop. Like Dan.
And I'm kind of on Dee Dee's side with that one because who's gonna say, yeah, go ahead and stay with this 50 or 60-year-old man when you're a 20-year-old girl and he's married? Go ahead and do that. I'm happy for you. No.
Nobody.
My mother would come and pull me out of the situation right now, and I'm 20 years
No
old.
mom is gonna say, hey, I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Go be a homewrecker.
Yeah, go be a homewrecker. And clearly this dude was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Because she thought she was younger than she was. She acted like she was younger than she was.
But I even think that he, knowing he's a pedophile, would have still called the cops for her. Or all she would have had to do was say, hey, Dan, can I borrow your phone?
Yeah, can I borrow your phone? And she had a phone.
Yes! She literally had a cell phone. All she would have had to do, 911.
Yep.
Hi, my mom
Is
psychotic. She's a fraud.
Yeah.
She is doing all this stuff. She's giving me medication for animals. Can you please come get me? And they would have been there. And they lived in a pretty small town. They probably would have been there in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is the sad part.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that, Gypsy definitely had to research and, know a lot about the murder. This wasn't just oh my gosh, come kill my mom.
No, it was premeditated.
It was very premeditated.
Because he had to fly there.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd flown there before. And they met at the
movie theater.
And
they had sex.
Why didn't he just take her then?
Exactly. That was my thing, too, is Gypsy's one of her excuses is, well, I never had a moment alone with anybody besides my mom. I was never alone with anybody.
But that's not true because she was
you
alone
had
with the
sex
neighbor.
in the bathroom.
She was alone with the neighbor multiple times. She had sex in the bathroom.
Yeah.
With
the movie theater.
With him. But they could have just, if they would have just not stopped in the bathroom and had sex, they could have just walked out the door.
Yeah. She could have said, Mom, can I go to the bathroom? And never came back. And I'm happy that all this is coming out because even though she's still making money off of it, I am happy that people are seeing
the true Gypsy.
The truth.
Because and poor Nick. Nick also needed to be in an institution heavily.
Nick had multiple personalities.
Yes, he needed to be heavily medicated or put in an institution. Either one of the two. But now his life is ruined.
Yeah. because she basically coerced him into doing
murder.
this. Yeah.
Because I don't think he ever would have hurt anybody if she wouldn't have asked.
No.
He might have kidnapped her for
Because
it.
there was multiple times that he said, I don't want to do this.
Yes.
And she said, I want you to do it.
But I want you to do it. And then what was his alternate personality?
Dominic?
Dominic.
Or something like that.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Like, she would ask for him. She'd be like, okay, why don't we
Can I
talk
talk
to
to
Nick? Can I
Dominic?
talk to Dominic?
Yeah.
And Dominic will be like, yes. Like,
I don't know. It's insane. And I do feel bad for Nick, but I also feel bad for literally everybody because...
I mean, and I feel bad for Dee Dee because she just needed help.
Yeah, she just needed help. She just needed her kid taken away.
Which
and she needed to
sucks.
go to an yeah, it sucks. And even if you're that messed up, it's gonna suck if you have to have your kid taken away. But
that's what she
what
needed.
needed to happen.
And I wish, and I like Rod, you know,
Yeah.
but I wish he would have fought harder for her.
Yeah.
Because I think if he would have fought harder for her, he would have at least got 50-50.
Yeah.
And then he could have seen, oh, she can walk.
Yeah.
Oh, she can eat. She doesn't need a feeding tube.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, or all her teeth gone.
Well, and I want to know why Rod didn't fight harder for her.
I do too. I wish that there was some.
Because we know it's probably not Christy, because Christy loves Gypsy.
Yes, but did Christy love Gypsy then? Or does Christy love Gypsy now?
Because she makes money.
Because Gypsy makes Christy money.
Who knows?
And I wonder how that works. Like, does Rod and
Christy and Mia and
do they all
Ken-
get paid for their appearance on the show?
I
Or
don't
does
know.
just Gypsy? I don't know how TV works.
I don't either. I feel bad for Gypsy because she has got some serious mental issues and needs some help. I also feel bad for...
But how is the doctor not telling her that?
I don't know. Has she been going to... Does she go to therapy? She goes to therapy, doesn't she?
Yes, and that did kind of make me mad that, like, Ryan was upset that she was going to therapy.
Yeah. Ryan was definitely wrong about some things.
Like, she clearly needs therapy.
Yeah.
She's
And Ryan needs therapy.
crazy. Oh yeah, I think Ryan needs some heavy therapy.
Yeah.
I think they all would benefit, maybe from family therapy.
They need family therapy. Mia, Ken, Gypsy, Christy, and Rod all should go to therapy. Ryan needs to go to therapy by himself. They all need some therapy because it's a hot mess in there. But I feel bad for all of them. I feel like Ryan was very genuine in the beginning.
Was that the pool or was that car?
I think it was a car.
So just a little backstory. In the salon that Anna's in right now, is that's the pool hall.
He has a air horn. I saw him get out of his car with it and I didn't know what it was.
There's the pool hall beside, and that's why she's moving.
Yes, there's a pool hall that I share the building with. So, we're moving
In October.
in October. I'm very excited. But even just having microphones will be better. We'll have
Yeah, because
microphones
once we
next
have
week.
those microphones, you won't be able to hear all this background noise.
Yeah.
So,
But, yeah, the whole Gypsy Rose situation is very strange. And
we're ready for season 2.
We're very ready.
If
for
there's
season
going to be a
2.
season 2, I don't think it's been confirmed.
It hasn't?
Let me go. I don't know if it has because there was talk, like when Gypsy was talking about maybe deleting all social media.
Didn't her therapist tell her she didn't delete social media?
Yes. And her parole officer.
I do remember that, her parole officer said that.
We need to see how bad that's coming through.
Yeah.
Sorry, we had to take a brief intermission to see how bad the noise next door was picking up.
Yeah. It's not terrible.
It's not bad. I think we'll
It'll be better next week. And then at my new salon, I'll have so much privacy. And it'll be great.
I hope.
I hope.
So, where were we at? Family therapy.
Yeah, they need family
They
therapy.
need family therapy. I think they would all really benefit from family therapy. I honestly think that they need individual therapies.
Yeah.
They might need to be spending hours,
Yeah. A week.
but they have the money. So,
Exactly. They have the money for it. And
honestly, if I was a therapist, I'd fill out Gypsy as my client.
me too, that'd be interesting.
You can't tell anybody about
A
that.
little drama session every month, every week.
Or multiple times.
We're only doing 10 times a week. But, Yeah, Gypsy Rose, we're just not the biggest fans. I really hope that she's a good mom.
I hope that she.
But I don't have high hopes.
I don't either. I hope that she doesn't follow in
Her mom's footsteps.
because she needs help right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I really hope she's a good mom. And I also think, I heard that Ryan is infertile.
I heard that too.
And that she basically went and got pregnant to like rub it in Ryan's face.
Yes, but like, how do we know that Ryan is infertile?
I don't know. How did she suddenly get pregnant the second she was with Ken? Also, do you remember in the show when Christy called Gypsy and was like, Ken reached out and Gypsy was like trying to act surprised and it was so obvious that she was not surprised because we found out that they had been talking forever before that?
This literally just clicked on my head. If she knew Ryan was infertile, why did she take a plan B?
That's true.
Because that would not have came out after she got pregnant. She would have known that.
Yeah.
Do you think she was sleeping with Ken already?
Probably.
I don't know why Ryan. Like, because if she was sleeping with Ken already, it would have had to be while Ryan was at work.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my thought. They have to have at least a ring doorbell. You can't tell me that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is living in an apartment with absolutely no security protection.
Yeah, that's true.
So he would have seen
Yeah.
him come in.
Unless she figured out how to hide it somehow. I don't know. It sounds like they had been talking for a really long time.
I think they had been talking before she got out.
Probably.
I think I
would not
heard
surprise
Ken
me.
had been talking since before he got out.
Yeah.
I think, though, I really think that Ken is gay.
You do?
Have you not seen all?
I haven't seen screenshots, but I've heard that people have said
Yes.
that they found him on Grindr.
Like, they found him on Grindr, and this guy that, like, hooked up with him on Grindr came out and talked about it.
So he's at least into both.
Do these men have bags for their cues?
Oh yeah, they all do. They all
Is
bring.
pool that serious?
Yeah. Like almost everybody that comes brings pool sticks.
If
bags.
you play pool and you are seeing this somehow after we just trash talked pool, can you please tell me is that serious? Is this like a real sport? It's not the Olympics.
I don't know. I mean, they make money over there.
Yeah, they probably are making bank.
They have tournaments and stuff. But I don't know. It's a little too serious for me. But they might think my nail business is a little too serious for them. So
Okay, but that's a legitimate business.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just ready to have my own area and be in a building with other cosmetology services.
I think that Gypsy is a conspiracy theory in itself.
I do too.
But I think that in this episode we also need to address other conspiracy theories. Theories.
Okay, so
We keep getting so distracted. There is so many people rolling up. I want you all to know it's a Sunday at 3 o'clock.
yes,
It's a Sunday.
yeah.
It's not Saturday. So,
No.
but they're doing it. Like, if I come in here and get my nails done on Mondays at 8 a.m., they're playing
here.
pool.
Yeah, they play pool all the time.
What are your favorite conspiracies?
So I am not a believer in the moon landing.
Are you kidding? I'm not even. Yes. I think it's fake.
Okay, I saw something
We have to
the
go
other
watch
day.
Fly Me to the Moon when it comes out.
Yes, I literally just saw something the other day that like,
The shadows are off.
yes, the shadows are off. Something that 100% proved it for me. It was literally like less than a week ago. Candace Owens.
I love that woman.
Me too. Candace Owens said in an interview, she said, here is something that will prove it to you. She said she looked up, you literally just go to Google
I
and you
think
type it in.
everybody's is fake though.
Yeah.
I think Europe never landed.
I don't think anybody would.
This is decked out.
Oh man, this is fancy.
I wish y'all could see what we're seeing out the
Me
window.
too. Wait, can I search something on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So you search like, it's something belt. Something belt. It's like a layer of the atmosphere or something. Let me
don't think the moon landing is real. I'm a firm believer. I've believed this for a long time. Listen, I would like to say that my husband kind of thinks the earth is flat.
Are you serious?
I think, like, okay, I don't know if he just says it because he wants to be funny, and he thinks it's funny that he doesn't think the earth is flat, or if he really doesn't believe that the earth is round.
Van Allen belt.
I've not heard
So,
of this.
look up temperature of Van Allen belt. 2,000 to 20,000 Kelvin. Remember that. Material, spaceship was made out of.
Space.
Aluminum alloy. Aluminum alloy? No.
It's less than 2,000 and 2,400 Kelvin. So that,
Okay. 993 Kelvin.
so
That is less than half
of what it is.
of what it is. So how are you going to say that this spaceship made out of aluminum alloy is going through the Van Allen belt
And not.
and not bursting into or
You
melting?
remember the submarine that
Yeah.
imploded? That's what would have happened to the spaceship.
Yeah.
Also, gravity. They could not be standing. Maybe they could be standing in their suits, but that flag would have been gone.
Yeah. I feel stupid talking about it though because I don't know anything about science.
So I know very little about science.
Me
I
too.
was an AP girly in high school.
I like to just
I took AP environmental science, but never AP
space science.
space science.
I don't know anything about science. I just like to see what's online. Like I like the Candace Owens thing. I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm gonna Google it. And I Googled it and I was like, okay, that literally proves it right there.
Yes.
And the camera that they used too.
It would not have worked in space.
And well, she also said she was like, they're basically live streaming from the moon. In what year was it? The 60s?
Live streaming wasn't a thing then.
No. How are you live
And
streaming from the moon to everybody's
If
TV?
I
in the living
if
room?
I don't have service inside of a metal building, you all don't have service on the,
On the
moon.
That is not happening.
No way.
No way.
Do you have service on the moon? If I don't have service when I'm inside of a metal building in 2024, you don't have service in the
In the
60s.
Is it the 60s?
I don't know.
Moon landing.
Here. The moon landing's fake, and that is a hill that I'll die on.
July 20th, 1969.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No.
I don't even think there's people in space right now on the space shuttles. I think that that's it.
Are there supposedly people?
There's supposedly people in space right now on those space shuttles. The space shuttles are up there because I see them, but I don't think there's people on them.
I didn't know that they were supposedly people. I don't follow anything, okay? I see what I read online and I believe
My
things.
mom is really weirdly obsessed with space, so if she's like, the space shuttle's gonna come through at 9 o'clock, be sure you go outside and look. So I will always go out there and look, and I can see them, but I don't think there are people up there.
Oh, you can see them?
Well, you just like see like a light. It's like you know when the airplanes fly over.
Oh.
It just looks like a star flying over, but it's a spaceship.
I didn't know.
But there ain't people inside of them. And you have to look at what was it when they were going to send like just the random people to space, like the teacher, and they literally imploded on takeoff.
Yeah.
Like,
If you can't even take off and
You
survive
can't
that, how are you
get
going to
up there.
survive all the way up there onto the moon and back?
no, it's not happening.
And have you seen interviews with like the astronauts that supposedly went to space in 1969? They get really angry when you say like you did not go to the moon. Like that's what's confusing too, is like why do they seem so dead set on the fact that they were at the moon?
Because if I was actually at the moon, I would have been like,
Believe what you want.
believe what you want.
I'm right.
But they were like, no, I was on the moon.
Yeah,
No,
it's like-
you were in a back building in NASA,
Yeah.
and you all were like, one step for man, one giant step for mankind.
Bouncing around on your little face.
Except this is how it would have actually actually been if they were on the moon? Oh, let's get the flag out of the spaceship. Wait, let's set up the phone. Let's get the flag out. The flag would have went floop, and the phone would have went floop, and it would have been gone forever.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's fake.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm confused why we haven't been back.
Yes, if you know in 1969, it's 2024.
How many years is that?
A lot.
55?
Yeah.
55 years. And even if we have been back, why aren't we going all the time? And why aren't we doing things all the time? Because if you could do that in 1969,
You could do it now.
yes, and I think the reason that they faked it is because they were in the space race.
Yes.
Because
I don't think anybody went though. I don't think Europe went. I don't think.
No, I don't think anybody went. I think they're all faking it. Do they have video footage of other countries flying?
The same kind of video footage
Did they do here?
that they do here. I also think.
But I also don't know what the point of everybody lying is. Why do they want all the public to know?
Because it was
Or
a space
think
race
all
and it
the
was a
time.
really big deal. Like at that point, it was a really big deal. It was kind of like when Columbus discovered America. That was like a land race and it was a really big deal.
Yeah.
And just like how COVID is a really big deal right now.
Yeah.
Like during that time, the big deal was who can get up there first. And that's the superior country. So everybody faked it.
So that they can say, I've been. And win the race.
There's no way, if they did go to the moon, there's no way that flag stayed there.
No, because they say that it's still there, right?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. They say
They say it is, but there's no way it is. How are they grab it? It's simple laws of gravity.
Yeah. Because what is it? If you're like 150 pounds on Earth, you're like 80, 70 pounds or something on the
And
moon.
you're just like,
and you're just like floating around.
I think this is a hot take. I think that the Secret Service killed John F.
I do too.
I don't think that that was just a random dude.
No.
And all the similarities to John F. Kennedy's assassination and Abraham Lincoln's assassination really freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
They all really freaked me out. So I think that the government was like, oh, we'll do this and we'll make it look like it was based on the Lincoln assassination and how these people really wanted him dead. No, you all wanted him dead.
Yeah.
So you all killed him and you all have fabricated this story
About what's his face?
about Lee Harvey Oswald to make it. Because, like, there's so many similarities between. I think that Abraham Lincoln was genuinely assassinated. I don't think we were at the point in time that we could have faked
Faked
that.
it.
But I think.
That dude he just brought in his fancy little pool stick and then left.
This cannot be all. These are all the similarities. This cannot be true. So they were both really concerned with civil rights, and most people hated that.
Yeah.
Lincoln was elected president in 1860, and John F. Kennedy was 1960.
Mm-hmm.
They were both slain on a Friday, and their wives were both right beside them when they were both assassinated. They were both shot from behind. Their successors were both named Johnson, and they were Democrats, and they were both prominent members in the Senate. Andrew Johnson was born in 1808, and Lyndon Johnson was born in 1908. John Wilkes Booth was in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald was born in 1939. Booth and Oswald were Southerners favoring slavery, essentially. Both presidents' wives lost children through death while they were in the White House.
How?
Lincoln's secretary's name was Kennedy, and he advised him not to go to the theater. Kennedy's secretary's name was Lincoln and asked him not to go to Dallas. John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and ran to a warehouse. Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and ran to a theater. The names Lincoln and Kennedy each contained 7 letters. The names Andrew Johnson and Lyndon Johnson each contained 13 letters. The names John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald each contained 15 letters, and they're triple names. Like, they went by Lee Harvey Oswald, John Wilkes Booth. They didn't go by John Booth or Lee Oswald. Both assassins were killed before being brought to trial, so they never got tried. They were killed before, so the trial could never happen. And both Johnsons were opposed for re-election by men whose names start with G. Too many!
That's a lot. But it's like weird ones to where, like, how is it connected? But, like, how is it not connected because there's so many of them?
I think that the government planned it all. I don't think the government planned Lincoln's. I think the government planned
The other one.
Kennedy's.
Yeah.
And then it just all, unfortunately.
I think if we had my dad on here, he would like squash all of our ideas. He'd come on here and be like, "You're stupid. You're stupid."
I'm looking at popular conspiracy theories to see if we believe in them. Some of these are just stupid.
We're on there.
Prince Charles is a vampire. COVID.
Do you think that Queen Elizabeth is reincarnated as Trisha Paytas' baby?
Malibu Barbie?
Malibu Barbie?
No.
I do.
But I think it would be so funny.
I love Trisha Paytas.
I do too. She's so controversial, but she's so funny.
She's controversial, but she's also like unproblematic.
Do you think that Walt Disney's head is frozen at Disney World?
Probably.
And that's why
That's
they created
weird
Frozen?
That's a weird thing they would do.
And that's why they created Frozen as a distraction?
Yeah.
I do too. I love Disney conspiracy theories. Do you think Bigfoot's real?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe in aliens.
I don't either. I don't understand how there couldn't be another life somewhere.
I think there definitely is another life somewhere in the universe, but I don't think they're concerned with us.
Yeah. And if there is life, it could just be like little germs or something.
Yeah,
Like it might not be like fully developed beings. I don't know.
The color is made up. I don't think she's made up. I think she's real. I
I
just
do
don't
too.
think
I
that
do
she
too.
did all the stuff that they
Yeah,
said she did.
Helen Keller did not fly a plane. She did not write a book.
She could. She's physically capable of flying a plane. She can't hear or see.
No.
I don't really think she wrote a book
No.
because she could barely talk.
Yeah.
Brooke could barely talk.
I mean, have you seen the videos of people like reenacting like what she did? And it was like she would just run around and like with her hands out and then,
Yes!
like, hold onto people's mouths. Like I just don't believe that somebody like that could actually do that.
No, I also don't. I don't know how I feel about the Bermuda Triangle and Amelia Earhart.
I was about to say that. I think that Amelia Earhart is. I think they found her, and that they just don't want to admit it.
Do you think that Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey? Have you not seen that confusion?
No.
You know John Benet Ramsey. Do you know anything about her?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so she's this little pageant girl
Oh, okay.
that was found. I don't think they ever found the body.
But she died.
Like they said that she was kidnapped, and there was this whole ransom letter and everything. Like, and they think that it was basically just an exploit for the family to give her money, and that she's not really dead, and that she's been reincarnated, not reincarnated, but that
She
she's
is
just grown
Katy
up
Perry.
and become Katy Perry.
What?
I gotta find it. I don't know much about it, but I do think.
Do you remember that little girl in England that went missing when the family was like on vacation or something?
Yes.
The little blonde girl. What's her name? And then do you remember like a year or two ago when that girl was on TikTok saying that she was her?
Yes.
And that she thought she was her? And then they were like, no, you're not.
So like, she's obviously not a John Benet Ramsey.
Really?
It's just a conspiracy theory that I'm really into because people think that she is. Like that the America's meant to release COVID.
Oh yeah.
I think that the government was like,
that was for
we're
sure
gonna do
on
this.
purpose.
This is not China's fault. We're gonna do this. We're gonna blame it on China so people hate China.
Because if China had that disease and they thought it was that terrible and they had it in some lab, they would have done everything in their
Yes.
everything
The
possible.
bats on the streets
Yeah.
would not have got it.
That is 100% impossible that they would just be like, oh, it's fine. We'll just send it over.
Let's just.
And even if they did have it in China,
It would have
they're not-
spread in
they're
China
not going to
like
let
it
a
spread
single
here.
person leave the country.
No, and why didn't it spread in China like it did here?
I have no idea.
Like, because if it was in China just on the streets.
Do they say it's because they wear masks already because of their pollution, their air pollution?
Probably, but I don't necessarily think that masks really helped us much.
No, I don't think masks really helped, and I don't know how masks help air pollution. Because you're just breathing the air through the top and the bottom of the mask.
And you're
It's
just
not
breathing
like a
your
suction
own
cup.
carbon monoxide.
Yeah, it's not like a
dioxide.
suction cup around your mouth and you're only breathing out of something
No, because
going
then you
through
die.
a filter. No, it's you're breathing the air through the top and the bottom of the mask. The mask is just in the way. Like that's literally all it is. I can't stand masks. I think they're stupid. I don't think they ever
against the COVID shot to just kill off more people. And I'm alive.
You did.
I'm still alive. Because I didn't want to wear a mask at school.
Oh yeah, that's what she's done.
We went to school during the heat of COVID, okay?
Yeah.
High school. So we
Sophomore
so
years
they
when
were
we got
like
sent home.
you can wear a mask and you can not get the shot. Or you cannot wear a mask and get the shot. So we all got it. Because nobody wants to wear a mask because it's stupid and you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And then we started wearing masks anyway.
Yeah. They said, get the shot and you won't have to wear masks to school. And then everybody got the shot, and then they went to school and they said, actually, COVID's way too bad. You still have to wear a mask even if you got the shot.
Yes, and this probably needs to be a whole other episode about vaccines and everything because we just would go on for too long.
Yeah.
But, moral of the story.
Gypsy Rose is a fraud in her entire family.
Aliens may or may not be real.
Possibly, we don't know.
Helen Keller is fake. She might not be fake, but she did not do all that
The
stuff.
moon landing didn't happen.
The moon landing definitely did not. Bigfoot? I think
Who
he's
knows?
real. Who knows?
I don't know about that.
I really think he's real.
I think the chance of aliens being real is higher than the chance of Bigfoot because we would have seen
No,
them.
I think there's multiple Bigfoots. I think that they're like just a weird animal. And that people just call them Bigfoot.
But why haven't we just like seen them everywhere?
Maybe they're really good at it. Why have we not discovered over 90% of the ocean?
I don't know, but Bigfoot's not in the ocean.
I think Bigfoot's real.
Who knows? Maybe we'll research more and come back next week with more information.
So Helen Keller's a fraud. Jumper name may or may not be Katy Perry.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Ryan's in over his head. Gypsy's crazy. Christy needs help.
Ken's probably
Ben's
gay.
probably gay. Abraham Lincoln definitely really got assassinated. John F. Kennedy's was probably planned.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot in a little bit. I
We
mean,
have. So that's all.
we'll see you next week.
Bye.